I'll get Starbucks. But then the Starbucks we used yesterday was closed, so I text Joey, Starbucks is closed, frowny face. And then I remembered that I saw a Starbucks in Chinatown. I hustled to Chinatown, got us Starbucks, and then Joey's like, oh, I also found an extra Starbucks.
Yeah, a different Starbucks.
So we both came
So we both went to Starbucks.
We both with
Both
trays
got
of
each other.
Starbucks.
Yeah. Well, we
Oh, so Ben's on the play, and he runs out. A terrible first turn play.
yeah,
You'd never
turn
wanna
one
make
Delver,
that play.
and it doesn't even flip.
Sounds like justice.
Oh, Ben is on 6
six
cards. Okay.
we just learned. So he's actually down 2 cards relative to Reid.
Yeah. On the play,
his
and
Delver didn't even flip.
yeah. Reid Duke with just a Copperline Gorge, turn 1.
You really want the Carpenline Gorge on turn 1 because it stinks later,
Yeah.
right?
There's a Farseek, and that's going to get mana leaked. Delver does not flip. It's an island.
What do you think about that, Joe? You just mana leak the.
Actually, I
Farseek.
like that. Yeah, just keep
I
him,
would do
hold
it, I
him
think,
back.
too.
Yeah, keep him, stall him. You have the early game. He has the late game. Oh, bonfire. Well, I mean, it's just a removal spell for Delver. It happens.
The thing is, see how tragic it was that Delver didn't flip? Because
Yeah, if it would have flipped,
a
it would.
fully powered Delver would have lived through that. This game's looking pretty bad for Ben. Presumably Reid's going to play a land in like a Solemn Simulacrum or something, right? Or he's tanking. So you see an island, a forest, Copperline Gorge, Cavern of Souls.
Didn't see what he
I think he
named.
probably named Golem. I think that's what he was thinking about.
We're gonna find out. Yeah.
So we're gonna find out, but I would guess he named Golem. So naming
It was Golem.
It was Golem. So naming Golem on Cavern of Souls, especially your first Cavern of Souls, is I think a very underrated play because if a Solemn Simulacrum ever resolves, the implication is all of your support cards will resolve for the rest of the game, right? You have enough.
You were
of a
talking about
boost,
this yesterday, where you now you have extra mana to pay for mana leaks.
Yeah.
You know, you're in a better position. So end of turn Restoration Angel from Ben Lundquist.
And let's see, nope, no excitement, just 3.
Just a Mistbind click there.
So Ben's got to hope that Reid doesn't have another Cavern.
And he has another Miracle.
Wow,
He's going to take 2 turns.
This is out of Mana Leak range. You see that?
Yeah.
The resolved Solemn Simulacrum already doing work.
Yep. Exactly what you said. Because 1 land down, and that would have been leakable. So Temporal Mastery.
I mean, there's no guarantee Benny has a Mana Leak, but
No, but if he did.
But if he did,
you know what
I mean,
it's already there. Yeah.
You might consider not letting your opponent deny you a draw step, get an
Yeah.
extra draw step,
I mean,
get extra 2 points in.
at this point, I think, given Reid's board position, it's more like an Explorer than a Time Walk. But Explorer is pretty good card in these kind of ramp decks.
Yeah, people say that, but you're still denying Ben a draw step. It's not just a cantrip. You deny him a draw step and deal 2 damage.
Well,
That's
I
not
think
nothing.
it's the extra 2 damage because Explorer was play an extra land, draw a card, right?
Yeah, but
which is what you do on your turn. But he's also going to.
But he's denying Ben a draw step, right? So if he takes 2 consecutives, Ben doesn't get a draw in between, right? It also denies Ben 3 damage. It's way more than an Explorer.
Well, no. Think about if you cast Explorer. Maybe we should save this for in between games since we can talk about this. But if you cast Explorer and you play a land and draw a card, there's no draw step in between when your turn and cast.
I 100% agree with you. Ben doesn't get his draw step now.
But what I'm saying is it's the same as Explorer. Because of that. We'll talk about it
We'll talk
after.
about it.
Yeah. So in with the Solemn Simulacrum.
Reid's playing super carefully.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that he has a more significant threat than what he's exposing right now.
Yeah.
And he's just nickel and diming it so that he can play around Mono League at this point because he probably just doesn't have a Cavern on that he can put on Giant yet.
Now, you said something yesterday in conversation. I think you may have said it when you were watching their previous match, or you at least were covering Reid when I wasn't, about how he moves when he has something and when he has nothing.
Oh yeah. So I think
There's a phantasmal image. What is he copying? If he searches his library,
No, isn't it pretty good to copy Angel and then blink?
That's what I would
blink
think.
Solemn.
But I saw him grab his library for a second. I thought that's what he was doing. So I think right now it's still just on the stack. Look at the way his lands are tapped. It's like, wait, kind of.
He's got some sort of organizational structure.
Yeah.
Like Ben's side of the board is very easy to understand.
Yes.
Here are my islands. Here's my dual land. Here's a dude. Yeah. So Ben would have had Monolith access this whole time. It looks like he's got Snapcaster Mage.
Ah, yeah.
So that even reinforces the earlier play of counterspelling the second turn accelerator, because in this case you want to burn your Monolith as quickly as possible so that you can get it in Snapcaster Mage availability
and still have it be relevant. But here he does not Snapcaster Mana Leak. He lets the Phantasmal Image resolve, which copies the Restoration Angel, which then blinks the Solemn Simulacrum. So Reid with another land in play. And Thought Scour at the end of turn from Ben Lundquist knocks a Vapor Snag and a Rune Chanter's Pike into the graveyard. He
Vendettas.
has a second... yeah,
Angel.
basically. Second Vapor Snag for the Phantasmal Image. And now in with the Restoration Angel. So he's beat down Benny.
Be a difficult race for Ben. He milled over one of his Rune Chanter's Pikes, would have really been able to accelerate his clock. 3 a turn at this point. It's 5+ turns, and you got to figure that Reid's going to be able to do something in the next 5. I mean, even if all he's doing is activating his Kessig Wolf Run, like that's a much faster position than Ben's got right now.
Yeah.
Right. Not that I don't think that Reid's probably going to put all of his mana into the Kessig Wolf Run this turn, but Ben just. You think of Restoration Angel as a powerful creature, but he does not have a huge amount of pressure going.
Right, and there's a Thragtusk to negate almost 2 attacks from the Restoration Angel, and
Ben is
out of range of Mana Leak. And now he's pumping a ton. That is a golem.
An angry golem.
Yeah.
That Jens Thorin is defending Poland.
He's howling. And okay, so we have a Snapcaster Mage, Vapor Snag situation going on here. Or no, it was just a Thought Scour. Okay, so he actually took the damage from the Solemn Simulacrum and knocks a Probe into the yard.
Augur of Bolus.
Augur of Bolus and
Augur
it's gonna
misses. Oh wow, it is brutal. Not only does it miss,
but it puts another Pike.
Well, it puts both Pike and Snapcaster Mage, 2 highly relevant cards, out of not even out of reach, to the certainty of they will not help us this game. Does Ben have anything that shuffles your deck?
I don't think so.
I mean, Ponder
can shuffle.
So,
yeah, good call.
So
I'm thinking like fetch lands and
I mean, Ben's just running the Snapcaster towards the Thragtusk, baiting Reid Duke for a block.
I mean, if I'm Reid, I'm fine with that, with the Thragtusk dying, because I still get a 3/3.
I'm pretty sure I block here.
Mm-hmm.
Because so what's the implication? Ben has a gut shot?
Right.
Okay.
Right, so now, what's left is the creature that does 3, plus he already did 2 with a gut shot, and you killed a Snapcaster, right?
I think that it's really good for Reid to block here, because Ben's the beatdown right now, and what are the chances that Reid's going to lose? You just don't want Ben dealing another extra 2, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine block.
Yeah, and in that case, look, there. Okay, he does have the gut shot.
Has it.
So now, if the beast attacks, that's 3 plus the 2 the gut shot did. So it's like the Thragtusk did 5 anyway.
All right, so I mean, Reid's got so much mana here. He could just hurl all that mana into
a Kessig Wolf Run, yeah. And there's no Snapcaster Vapor Snag action happening here. He has to have it in his hand.
Straight Vapor Snag.
Right, exactly. He has to have Vapor Snag in his hand. So, Beast and Solemn into the red zone. Augur of Bolus blocks Solemn Simulacrum. Looks like Solemn's getting angry again. Actually, twice as angry as he was before.
Very angry Golem.
Now he's angry because he was blocked. Last time he wasn't
Can't
as
believe
angry.
you did that.
Yeah. Why would you block? I'm really angry.
Benny reviewing his hand.
You'd think that Augur of Bolus, being like a merfolky looking guy, could kind of get away in the waterfall behind
swim
him.
away.
Yeah, swim away, but no,
Oh, so
a Vapor Snag on
Vapor
the
Snag's
beast.
the other guy. Maybe he's got another gut shot. Nope. I thought if
Yeah, I was gonna say,
if
he
Ben
just-
had a gut shot, he'd go to 1, but
and Reid would draw a card.
but it'd be a heck of a lot better than the position he is in right now.
That's true. Yeah. Have a removal spell for the guy.
He has no path to not losing right here, even if he leaves back his Angel.
Yeah, just Wolf Run.
It's gonna go
He gets-
straight over.
Wolf ran over. Yeah. What does he have in his hand? Island
It's
something.
like a white card.
Yeah.
Is it Restoration Angel?
Yes. If it's Restoration Angel, he still, I think. What do we got?
Oh, it's
a
Moreland
Haunt.
Haunt.
Even worse. Never
Yeah,
mind.
so
Yeah, this is there.
I think he's just gonna make Reid
Bluff
kill
of Vapor
him.
Snag. Yeah. And Reid, of course, has no reason not to attack.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, wait for blockers and then.
Oh,
Pump.
okay. He has Moreland Haunt. Yeah, he put a blocker in there, so he's gonna just force Reid to
Pump for 2.
pump. Yeah, give it trample.
So, well, yes, if you give it to 4 power, that has 1 toughness, right? Yeah, pump for
Yeah.
2 is enough to kill. So, Reid is going to make sure that he leaves his golem facilitating Cavern of Souls
Yeah.
back. Yeah, it's pump for 2. And Ben reviews his land in hand.
Yeah. What was the last card? What was the last card?
We saw what the last
We
card
know what it was.
So,
And Reid doesn't appear to be wondering
So-
what the last card was.
a lot of these guys are playing this Wolf from Blue deck. Josh Ravitz won a PTQ with it a handful of weeks ago. He was on this deck as well yesterday. I didn't even get a chance to talk to Josh yesterday. He had conferred, I think, a bit with Reid and Gerard, those guys playing Wolf from Blue. And Josh told me he thought that Delver was a really easy matchup for Wolf from Blue. He beat it like 6 times in the PTQ that he won.
Yeah.
So I actually think that even though there's 3 Delver decks in this top 4, and again, it's 4 exceptional players, that I think I would pick Reid to be the favorite to win this one.
Yeah.
I think superficial analysis would be like, no, well, there's 3 Delver decks. Delver's 3 times as likely
Right.
to win, and I don't think that's true. I think
Well, I think you made a great analogy last night where you say, the rock, paper, scissors. Oh, there's 3 paper decks in the top 4.
and 1 scissors.
And 1 scissors.
Surely
So obviously
paper's
the paper's
gonna
going to
win.
win, right? So, I think that's a great
Yeah,
analogy.
it's not as cut and dried as that, but
Of course.
it's hard to say like between Cho and Gindi, whose decks are more or less the same deck.
Mhm.
It's pretty draw dependent. They're both excellent players.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly Gindi has a stronger resume at this point than Cho, but Cho hasn't been playing nearly as long as. I mean, Cho played in a Pro Tour and top 8'd it.
Yeah.
Cho won the last Open. So obviously you're talking about players who are going to play at a level where probably won't see some like egregious errors.
Right.
All of them have very viable decks in front of them, and I just think if I had to pick a favorite, I would pick Reid.
I like that logic. We have some premium to give away. 6 months of free premium. We're going to give it away just like we do in every tournament of the Open Series. Here it is. We're in the semifinals, so it's 6 months now.
So twice as good as what Memory Lapse guy won yesterday.
That's right. So we're going to ask you guys a question. You tweet the answer with the hashtag SCG Premium hanging out there in the middle underneath. So tweet that hashtag with your answer. Random correct answer gets 6 months of free premium. So you mentioned the other match, which, obviously we didn't watch it because these guys aren't really any good. Right? No, the other match, Charles Gindi versus Josh Cho. Josh Cho won last week with Merfolk.
Which was the question for
which was the
top 8
question.
prize.
So who was the only other player Oh, no, I'm sorry. So Josh Cho has the opportunity to have a back-to-back win, not a back-to-back
So
weekend, but it's still a back-to-back
So
win.
to be clear, if Josh Cho wins today,
yes,
he won the last Legacy event
Right.
and then the standard event. So he won back-to-back open
right.
events.
It would be back-to-back opens, right?
Somebody previously won back-to-back open events, but they were on the same weekend.
Right. So who was the
Who
only
was that
player
person?
to have ever have back-to-back wins on the Open Series? And yeah, random correct answer wins 6 months of free premium. So what is it? It's August. What's August plus 6? It's like February.
March. February.
There we go. So I mean, we're into gate crash territory now.
Is that two sets from now?
That's the second set in the Return to Ravnica block. So you can read.
You've done all the homework.
Yes, I know.
You've done all the research.
And then it's Sinker after that because we don't know
Sinker?
the name. Yeah, it's Hook, Line, and Sinker was
yeah.
the
I
code
bet
name.
Return to Ravnica is probably going to be awesome.
I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, Ravnica block was... Gindy is up a game.
Gindy is up a
Who
game.
went
by the way.
first, do you know?
We're gonna find out who.
Gindy
was on the play.
Gindy went
in
first and
one
held
game
serve.
yeah.
I think that going first is less descriptive in the Delver mirror. That ramp mirror going first is insane.
And we're happening. We're underway on the table here.
Benny's
Game
still at
2.
3 life, despite the restart of a new game.
Now he's at 20. Okay, turn 1 Delver off of a Seachrome Coast from Ben Lundquist. Slightly better start than last game.
Opponent unknown. He goes Island Ponder. I mean, I don't think you're very much expecting Forest Farseek.
Yeah.
Simulacrum as his next 2 plays, right?
Yeah. Reid Duke appears to be playing Delver as well.
Reid Duke also with Delver.
Yes. He switched decks in
What?
between. He has a transformative sideboard.
So, yep, that is exactly the start. I said he's going to play Forest. Ramp of Growth into Solemn Simulacrum. And then the implication is if he's got a land in the next 2, and if the land that he has in the next 2 is in Cavern of Souls, we're going to see Prime Time.
Yeah, Primeval Titan. So we see Kessig Wolf Run, Solemn Simulacrum, Whip Flare, Primeval Titan, Rampant Growth, another Forest, and Ponder.
So,
Did I say another Forest? That's the first Forest. There's only one Forest there.
So that's a tough hand for Ben to know about. He has to think like, well, do I commit additional creatures to the board? Apparently the answer is yes, even though there's a Whip Flare.
Yeah.
And I think he's digging for a leak because he has to stop the Farseek. Oh wait, no, not the Farseek. First of all, it's a Rampant Growth,
yeah.
and he can't stop it because he's tapped, but he has to stop the next Accelerator. I apologize.
Which would be the
Which would be
Solemn
Solemn
Simulacrum.
Simulacrum, yeah.
Which will also be reasonable because you keep it out of the way, too, of your guys.
If Ben had a Mono Leak, he certainly would not have played that Snapcaster Mage because Reid is off of colors. He didn't have a red for the Whip Flare, and he doesn't have a second green for the Primeval Titan. So I would guess that he would want to hold back.
Charles Restoration Angel does not have any sign of a mana leak.
I mean, this is tough. He didn't flip his Delver. He's probably going to attack for 3 here. And his next play is probably going to be something along the lines of, you know what? He might be able to Phantasmal Image the Primeval Titan. I mean, that might be a way to get back. So
Yeah.
he can maybe let
Gonna Thought
Reid
Scour here. Hits Image and something else. May have been a
a
Snapcaster.
land.
Or, yeah.
I actually think I like that line. So he lets Reid do Solemn Simulacrum, hopefully flips the Delver, gets in for, let's say, 3, probably doesn't attack with the Snapcaster Mage, then images the Primeval Titan and lifts it, and then makes Reid play a bouncy game. Maybe get in with his own Primeval Titan.
Yeah. Gindy won. Wow, that was fast. So
Gindy won
Gindy
quick.
2-0 over Josh Cho. So I guess Josh Cho isn't back-to-backing, unfortunately, for for the excitement.
So
of the,
somebody, whoever that person is, that person's
still
title is safe.
Yeah, the only person to back-to-back. Solemn Simulacrum.
So Reid's probably going to get Forest here, right? He would need a second green for Primeval Titan.
Yes. Very likely gets Forest.
Again, I think if Ben has a leak, he would use it here because, there's an enormous danger in letting Reid get an additional land and then having his next land be Cavern of Souls.
Yeah.
And then he's
Island.
Interesting.
Very interesting. That's
That's a little different.
Yeah. Does that mean he drew a cavern? You think?
I think it's certainly possible that he drew a cavern.
I mean, why would you set yourself up to not be able to cast your 6 drop?
Maybe
right?
he drew a
He could have drawn
forest,
a green,
you know?
green source too. Yeah.
But,
so Delver does flip Ben Lundquist, and we'll be bringing the beats to the skies.
I actually think Ben has to be a little patient here. I don't think he can just jam because he has some value that he can get out of the Restoration Angel. Like maybe like Restoration Angel blinking Snapcaster Mage next turn for Vapor Snag. Mm-hmm. That's not nothing, you know? And I think he's probably thinking about this. I really would not want that Snapcaster Mage to die. I think that Ben can win this game potentially.
Yeah, I mean, and if I'm Reid, I definitely block there because I get a card out of it and kill the Snapcaster. So
yeah, I'm not sure what Ben got out of that attack in terms of the Snapcaster Mage.
I mean, there is a Kessig Wolfrun on board, and
yeah, but,
you know, he's trying to keep the board clear on the other side as much as possible.
But if Reid's play is Kessig Wolf running the Psalm Simulacrum, Ben's got a Vapor Snag.
There's a Whip Flare for the Delver from Reid Duke. And now the board is entirely clear of non-land permanents. And Ponder from Reid Duke. Reid has cast more Ponders than Ben has in this game.
I guess Ben thought that Reid would just play the Whip Flare and his Snapcaster Mage was dead anyway.
Maybe he was just figuring that, yeah. And trying to get just a little bit more damage in, potentially. But, I mean, if Reid knew
it's
he
actually
was gonna,
a net, right?
Yeah, if Reid knew he was going to play Whip Flare, he just says, I'm just going to block.
Or he was like, oh, well, I'm just going to throw my Psalm Simulacrum at you. If Ben really wanted to trade a 2-1 for a 2-2, he could block at that point. Really interested in the fact that Reid got an island instead of a forest on that. Oh,
yeah,
so he had a green source. Okay. Restoration Angel. So Ben's going to need probably about 4 turns of beatdown here. Oh, but his top of his deck is fierce. Got 2 Snapcaster Mages in a Phantasmal Image. I mean, he could conceivably go like double Phantasmal Image for like 2 Primeval Titans next turn.
Now the thing with the Primeval Titans, they're going to be like explosive vegetation kind of things because Kessig Wolfrun will just kill him.
But he can kill 1.
Right. So if he can do 2 in a turn, yeah, he can get in. It's just the Kessig Wolfrun will help keep the Phantasmal Images under some amount of control.
Oh,
so he's going to go with...
Angel?
Wait.
He now has 9 power in play.
Isn't this is when he blinks Restoration Angel, Restoration Angel has to target...
He can't target an angel.
Wait, oh, that's right.
That's now an angel.
How it works. Okay, that's right. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. You can't target an angel.
So this is actually a really interesting line by Ben. So he's actually challenging Reid to play his Primeval Titan, but he has a Vapor Snag which will do the 10th point. Although Reid can get 2 Glimmer Posts to so he's not dead.
Life total a bit, yeah.
But it's interesting, you know, Ben's challenging him to play.
There's 1 Glimmer Post.
To play his Primeval Titan. And
he's not gonna.
It doesn't look like he's going to.
He has another Whip Flare. And Snapcaster Whip Flare.
Oh,
what
wow.
deck?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable turn for Reid Duke. Ben was like, here are my cards.
Yeah.
Reid was like, thanks.
That was ridiculous. So Ben Lundquist now with a Snapcaster, and he is going to Ponder.
Still relatively solid top of his deck, right? You got more Snapcaster action? No.
Wow.
Oh, I think Ben is in the point where he's like, I have to stop the Primeval Titan.
Yeah, now he's like, oh, crap.
Like, no more of this dirtling around.
Yeah.
Give me a leak.
Here's Augur, Delver, Vapor Snag, right? Did you see a snag? He has a snag, right?
Yeah. Yes, he certainly has a snag. I mean, the reason he made that play before was like he had 9 power in play. Reid's on 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in theory, if Reid doesn't have a Glimmer Post, you can just try to kill him.
Right. But Reid had Whip Flare and Snapcaster Mage.
Oh, I have it. I also have a Snapcaster Mage. Is this awesome enough for you?
That was ridiculous. So Delver of Secrets for Ben Lundquist. And pass back to Reid Duke, who is taking a peek at Ben's graveyard. Not much in the way of spells in there. Because he, you know, he's...
All dudes, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, you see 2 images, a Delver, 3 images. A Delver, Restoration Angel, and I believe double Snapcaster, and maybe triple Snapcaster. I'm trying to... What is that bottom card? Like, all the way to the left. I couldn't see it. Oh, well. They had a dark kind of... dark-looking artwork.
Thought Scour, maybe?
Yeah, it could have been Thought Scour.
All right. So Reid has decided that against 1 open land, it's safe to play Primeval Titan. He probably need to get Locusts here, right?
All right. 1 Locust,
1 Locust and 1
Ink
Inkmoth. Okay, so I think Ben's probably going to try to bounce that Primeval Titan now. Yep. True story.
Vapor Snag, Primeval Titan.
So that will put Reid to 10, but he gained 2, so Reid should be at 12, is that right? Gained 2 from the Locust.
Yeah, so now he's at 12, yep.
So
now Delver, does it flip? It does not flip.
Ben Lundquist has been...
Bad times for Benny.
All the luck that all the other Delver players have ever had. You're like, here's my first turn Delver, second turn flip it with a Mono Leak. Ben didn't have any of that in this top 8. I've never seen Delvers not flip so many times.
Consistently not flip.
Consistently not flipping.
Stubborn Delver. There's Augur of Bolus. And there's a card that would have flipped the Delver next turn. And so yeah, he gets a Ponder off of it. So that will flip the Delver next turn, presumably. If yeah, so there's a Mana Leak, a Thought Scour, and a Snapcaster Mage. So
Ben does not have... I think he has only 1 Dissipate for hard counters in his sideboard. So we're at a point where Reid should have sufficient land to pay for a leak, right?
Yeah. So what it looks like is that Ben is pondering here. He puts Snapcaster on top, which he draws here, has Thought Scour next, and then Mana Leak. So Thought Scour will flip the Delver next turn, and presumably if he decides Mana Leak is worthless at this point, which...
Well, the thing is, the leak is actually pretty interesting here, because if he uses the leak, then Reid is presumably forced to pay for it, in which case he can't leave up his Inkmoth Nexus to block. So if Ben had a line where he was like, flying, Delver of Secrets, Runechancer's Pike kill you, then Reid would be able to block, right?
Right.
But I think that's probably what Ben's going to try to do. So Reid's going to tap 6. Primeval Titan.
Leaving back the Nexus.
The Inkmoth Nexus.
Yeah. Now, Ben's top card is Thought Scour. So,
I think Ben did not try to leak it?
No, he doesn't have the leak. He took the Snapcaster.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, like, he maybe just planning to Thought Scour it away. He does have a Pike in hand, I think. Or is that was a Snapcaster? Never mind. I was gonna say, I didn't think I ever saw a Pike go into his hand.
Are all 4 Locusts in play now?
It looks like it, yeah. 3 in a row and then 1 behind the mountain. So that was a heck of a bit of life gain there. Reid should be going, all the way up to 17.
Yeah, this is at this point out of the
Out of range.
Out of range.
For Ben's current board state.
Cyto
slap, yeah. It's early. And
So Thought Scour does flip the Insectile Aberration up.
yeah.
What can Ben... I mean, Ben presumably needs some sort of battlefield affecting card to just not die. Right? So that Inkmoth Nexus, I mean, Reid's got at least 12 land in play, right? At this point.
He's I think 12, 10 to 12. I think it's 12.
Ben's not dead to poison yet this turn.
So there's the Thought Scour. Thought Scour's away the Mana Leak and a Gitaxian Probe. What did he hit?
Runechancer's Pike.
Oh, okay. And so that was actually an awesome Thought Scour because not only did it hit Pike, but it knocked 2 instant sorceries into the graveyard. 1 instant, 1 sorcery. Along with itself, the Thought Scour itself.
So I would have to look at. So let's see. Let's just try to speculate here from Reid's side. The island and the Inkmoth Nexus are spoken for. They activate them, and then you need the. Does he have? He doesn't have enough to kill on a pump yet, right? So he needs Kessig Wolf on 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He's got 13 lands.
He's pretty close though. Yeah.
So it looks like Snapcaster's coming in with a Pike.
I like this attack because Reid can't block it without losing his Primeval Titan.
Yeah.
Ben has to leave back his Insectile Aberration for fear of Poison Trample.
Now the thing is, I think that Snapcaster's like maybe a 6/1. I mean, I think it's at least 6 power. Because I think that otherwise he might not have slammed into it. It is 6 exactly. Yeah. I think because remember we were looking at his graveyard earlier and it was just like a Thought Scour.
Well, so I mean, basically Ben's just like confirmed that it's big enough to tussle with.
Right. So remember, Ben had a single Thought Scour in there, and then I think since then he's just got the Thought Scour that knocked.
And then the 2 instant sorceries that he flipped with the Thought Scour. An interesting play might be if Reid activates the Inkmoth Nexus and double blocks.
What happened? Didn't he? Where'd that Vapor Snag go? He didn't Snapcaster.
He snagged the Primeval Titan the first time.
Right, so it should be in the graveyard, right? So shouldn't that be? Maybe he Snapcastered something else that I missed. But
there's something flipped to the side, right?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely Snapcastered. But I thought he cast that Vapor Snag after. I thought he's cast the Vapor Snag more recently than he's cast a Snapcaster Mage, is what I mean. So I thought there should be a live Vapor Snag in his yard for a Snapcaster Mage, but I didn't see it. Then again, I wasn't looking for it when they were looking through the graveyards.
Yeah, it looks like Reid's going to activate this. Oh, he's just going to toss it.
Wow, he just jumps in front of the Snapcaster with the Inkmoth.
Interesting.
I thought Runechanter's Pike only pumped power. Is it toughness?
It only pumps power, yeah. But it gives first strike.
Oh, that's the first strike. Never mind. I always miss the first strike.
Well, people don't block.
That's true too. Yeah.
Like, how often does anyone block? Only Resto Angel blocks.
Yeah.
I figure Reid's got to have another Bombtacular bomb here, right?
He could cast Emrakul. Well, he could cast Kozilek, he could cast Ulamog. I don't think he's got enough for Emrakul this turn. I mean, what if... Yeah. So he's 1 short, okay.
I mean, maybe he's got, like, a 3rd Whip Flare.
He's going to go, like, Whip Flare, Snapcaster, Whip Flare again.
I think he only has the 1 Snapcaster. But that was like
That was a pretty powerful Snapcaster.
That was a table snapper because it really looked like...
Those are the ones... No, here's Reid's. Somehow it was stuck
to the back. How did it get hidden? Okay, so...
These I'm throwing away.
Reid is... Playing Frosty.
Frost Titan.
Oh,
tap down your Delver.
No flyer. Yep, I knew he had another bomb. Well, does he have 2 other bombs?
Is he going to Thragtusk here? Yeah, there's a Thragtusk.
Here's my deck.
Oh my gosh.
And
if Ben comes back from this,
I don't think there is any coming back from this.
that's why I'm saying if Ben comes back from this.
Like, I mean, Reid's just gonna hurl the Thragtusk in front of the Snapcaster Mage. Like, there's just no way. Whoever's holding the pike is not gonna get through the Thragtusk.
He needs to go Elspeth, jump, Snapcaster.
So here's the thing. Ben also can't not attack. This Frost Titan is gonna, like, somebody's not gonna block. There's a Kessig Wolfron on Reid's side, and he has 2 Titans. Ben needs Temporal Mastery.
Yeah.
Like,
Or Day of Judgment.
Day of Judgment would bring.
Is it Flight Spell Bomb? Is that what?
No, Flight Spell Bomb's not big enough. Day of Judgment would make it so that the game was not over.
Yeah.
It would actually no.
Leave a 3/3 on
Because it would leave a 3/3, and Reid's got more than
Kessig
enough
Wolfron.
to Kessig Wolfron to death. There's
Not
no
even
card
God
that I can think
help.
of that
Not even the Wrath of God can help Benny Lundquist here. I don't think.
beat down Benny Lundquist is. I think this is the end of the road for Benny. He has to make a good faith attack. There's just. Yeah, here it comes. And
Yeah, Thrag.
I'm
Thragtusk
sure
snap block.
Thragtusk is going to block this. Agreed.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like, and I have a 3/3.
And Ben's going to make Reid do it. So, I mean, presumably Reid is going to lock down Augur of Bolus. I mean, he doesn't really have to, right? I think he's probably going to tap Augur of Bolus. Yeah, okay. Thinking about it. Those Titans are real. I'm sad that they didn't put them in M13. I love the Titan cycle.
I'm just sick of Primeval Titan, really. Like, they could print all the rest. I actually have no problem with the others. It's just Primeval Titan I'm sick of. Because it just enables so many different decks that I'm sick of seeing.
But it costs 6 land. I mean, like, it's...
So do the other Titans.
Oh, Snapcaster style.
Snapcaster from Ben. And he's looking for a prayer in his library to... or in his graveyard. To flash back here.
Block.
Yeah, blocks
Frosty.
the Frost Titan. Goes to 1 here.
Targeted Vapor Snag.
Okay.
So, this should keep him alive for a turn, right?
Yeah.
So,
There was a snag there then. Okay.
so he's going to snag whoever gets pumped. Reid put like a little bit of mana into his Wolf Run pumping. Like he could put like 4 into the Primeval Titan. Force Ben to. He could put 1 into the Primeval Titan. Force Ben to lift it, and then replay it. Danger here for Reid is that Ben is going to have an active Insectile Aberration now. He's going to take 1 point, put him down to 21. What happens if Ben, I don't know, can he draw Thought Scour into Runechancer's Pike number 2?
Right, and that,
Like,
I mean...
Is that a possibility?
I guess there's a potential for Ben to somehow win in a swing.
Oh, so Reid pumped Frost Titan, forced Ben to pump. I'm sorry, to pay mana for the Vapor Snag. So he's locked down. You see his 3 is locked down,
Right.
and allowing him to replay the Frost Titan to make sure Insectile Aberration is locked down.
Yeah, that
was an ingenious play.
It was.
Because
he just shut down the one line of play we could think
what
of.
if he draws Thought Scour, it flips into Runechancer's Pike, can he win? And the answer is, Reid Duke says, maybe he can, we're not going to find out.
Yeah. And he has Pike number 2.
He has Ben was sculpting for that play. Oh my gosh, Reid Duke, what a masterful play.
Why doesn't
Ben
Runechancer's
had it.
Pike give trample? I mean,
Wow. I can't believe Reid saw it. Like, how many players at 21 life attacking with 2 Titans, an overwhelming offense, say to someone, well, what if he can get a second
what if
pike
his 3-2,
and I leave open his 3-2? Can he do 20 in one swing? And the answer is, we will not find out. This is not among the things that we will learn in this game of Magic the Gathering. Wow.
I am trying to think of a line of play for Ben Lundquist here,
he
but there's...
closed off
I know.
Ben's line
So I'm looking for
at 20+
another
life.
one.
Gerard and I were talking about this yesterday, where like when you're winning, you often play too loose,
Uh-huh.
and the really good players play really awesome while they're losing.
Yeah.
You see, like, we thought that Ben was just dead, but he was actually sculpting for a corner.
Yeah.
Like, now Ben's tanking.
Yeah, well, I mean, he actually had that second
Yeah,
pike.
so he's make a swing. Wow.
So he had to pay 3 for the Vapor Snag on that Titan, right?
Yes, that's why.
Yeah,
it cut off some possibilities for him.
and there it is. Reid Duke advances to the finals of SCGDC here to face Charles Gindy and his Delver deck. You think Reid's scared?
I don't think it matters if Reid's scared. That play took so much presence of mind.
I guess he was just saying, I can kill him if I pump I pump the Frost Titan. So he's going to have to, if he has a Vapor Snag, he has to use it. And I can just lock down his Delver if he does. You know what I mean? There could be, it might not have been, he may not have thought of it the way that we did, but chances are, since it's Reid Duke, he did.